Hey YouTube, you are about to watch a message from one of our weekend experiences at Tethered. The weekend experience is a 100% digital event with 100% real people in the chats ready to talk to you, to connect with you, to pray with you. There's also other elements besides just this message, but we want to make this message of hope and truth available to you to help you in your walk with Jesus. If you want to learn more about how to attend one of those weekend experiences, more about who Tethered is, what our mission is, where we're going, and other resources and ways to connect with us, you can find all of that at tethered.online. But for now, we hope you enjoy this message. Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekend experience at Tethered. My name's Peyton, and you still have a chance to invite somebody to join us for this live session. We're going to be closing out our I Dare You to Pray series with I Dare You to Pray, God Break My Heart. And you still have a chance to invite somebody to this lesson. Maybe somebody who's had their heart broken or somebody who struggles with understanding where prayer fits into today's world. So one of our hosts is going to put a button in the chat. You can text that to your friends, put it on Facebook, and you won't have to have seen the other messages in the series to get something out of today. And I'm going to warn you right here at the beginning, you're not going to like this prayer. Some of you even are probably going to refuse to pray it. Like, why would I pray? Because this isn't a common prayer, and it certainly isn't an easy prayer. It's a prayer that when it's answered, it's not going to feel good, it's not going to feel safe, and it certainly is not consistent with the God should make your life easy version of Christianity, a version that too many of us have fallen into. And we pray, our prayers, it emulates this mentality like, God bless me, keep me safe, help me have a good day, protect my family. I don't want to be inconvenienced today. I don't want to be interrupted. I would just love to have no troubles, right? Give me a hassle-free day, a zit-free day. Help me have good food and bless that food. Green lights and sunny weather. Close parking spots would also be a good thing there. Help my kids be well-behaved. Help them do good in school. All of these things that aren't bad things. They're just too safe. So today we're going to talk about one of the most dangerous prayers that you could pray. It's a prayer that's going to make you uncomfortable. It's a prayer that's going to frustrate you. It's a prayer that will probably make life harder, not easier. And it takes extreme courage to pray, God, break my heart. I dare you to pray it. God, break my heart. Break it. Crush it. Strip me of all my comfort and ease and apathy. So right here out of the gate, I want to ask us in the chat for us to talk with each other. What do you think about asking God to break your heart? What feelings does that stir up inside of you? Let's take a moment and talk about that. So I'm going to warn you right here at the beginning, if you dare pray this dangerous prayer, God will answer it. If you pray, God, break my heart, you will be in some way burdened. You're going to feel grief. Your heart is going to ache over an injustice of some kind. There's a chance that you're going to lose sleep. Something's going to chew on your heart and your mind. You're going to maybe burn with a righteous anger. And you're going to probably do things that other people don't understand. You're going to face resistance and opposition. People are going to be critical of your decisions. You may even be persecuted. And in all of your pain, all of your agony, all of your discomfort, you will be blessed as your heart breaks over something that breaks the heart of God. You know, the prophet Jeremiah in the Old Testament, there's a whole book written about him. He's called by some people the weeping prophet. So in Jeremiah, the people of Judah, they're rebelling against God. This is a pattern that happens often in the Bible and still happens today. There are rampant injustices. People are abusing widows. The poor are being trampled over by the wealthy. It even gets so bad that there are some people who are sacrificing children to false gods. And God looks down at this, and his heart breaks, just like most of our hearts would break. And if you're a widow, or if you're not financially stable, or if you have children of your own, your heart is probably breaking just thinking about society living in such a terrible state. And look what it says in Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 18. My grief is beyond healing. My heart is broken. I hurt with the hurt of my people. I mourn and am overcome with grief. Break my heart. Let's be clear. This isn't a prayer asking God to give you some kind of spiritual interest or some kind of spiritual hobby. This is a prayer that's going to make you sick, seeing homeless people sleeping on the street. It's a prayer that's going to give you some kind of gut-wrenching burden, which is what the word compassion means, actually. When someone has compassion on somebody, it means in its original language that your guts are turned inside out, like your stomach, your body aches at injustices that you see in the world. Your thoughts are consumed. You can't get it out of your head, this certain thing, and it keeps coming up, and you can't let it up. It eats at you, it gnaws at you, and it gets you to a place where you have no choice but to act on it. That's what you're asking for when you pray this prayer. And this is the opposite of everything culture has programmed you to want. It's the opposite of that softer, feel-good version of American Christianity, that you can experience the best life right now. And you have likely heard this with televangelist or the prosperity gospel. That's the year of harvest, the year of abundance. Just soak it in, bring it in. The Lord's favor, it's time to multiply, increase, acceleration, right? Those are those key words. If you can name it, you can claim it. If you can see it, you can be it. Talk like you're blessed, walk like you're blessed. That's what the world tells you. What I'm saying is, what if God's greatest blessings come from God's greatest breakings? Have you ever experienced God's blessings as a result of suffering? I'm curious, and I want to talk about this together. What happened? What if God broke your heart for what breaks his? You see, one thing I've come to recognize, and we've talked about this at Tethered before, is that comfort never once moved me to action. Like if I'm comfortable in a recliner, I don't want to get up. If my life is comfortable, I don't want to change it. More luxurious life, it never shook me to care more about suffering in the world. Pain-free days never made me more like Christ. Christ was always going towards the suffering. He was always leaning towards those who were hurting and begging and crying out to God. You see, pain, it has a way of purifying us. James talks about this at the beginning of his letter. He talks about these trials and tribulations that we experience. They have a purifying process. What he's talking about is the process of purifying silver. Like if you make spoons or bowls or jewelry or weapons, the ancient process and even the modern process is you heat metal and it bubbles and it purifies, it gets really hot, and all of the imperfections come to the surface of the bowl, of the liquid. And what you do is you scrape off those imperfections, throw them away, and then you do it again. You purify it. It gets hot. And all of those imperfections come to the surface, and you clean them off. And you go through this process over and over, and this emulates the pain that we experience in our life. Suffering, it strengthens us. Trials, they teach us to depend on God, not ourselves. God, break my heart. I dare you to pray it. God, break my heart. Snap me out of my self-centered pursuit of ease. I want to feel like I have to do something. Like I can't not do anything. I want to be compelled, like the early believers, like Jesus, like the first followers, where I have to move, I have to do something, even if it puts my life at risk. And we see little drops of this all throughout the Bible. Think of Moses, a young Hebrew boy who watches Egypt beat people into slavery. His heart is broken at the mistreatment, at the oppression of slaves and his people. And for years, this bruise on him, and it sticks with him until a moment in which God empowers him, emboldens him, and uses him, and he stands before Pharaoh. He says, "Let my people go." And he walks out of Egypt with his people. David, a little boy whose nation is at war with a much mightier nation. And his dad sends him onto the front line to deliver snacks to his brothers. He's the youngest of the line. And at the battle stands a Goliath, a giant, an enemy, trash-talking God. And David's heart breaks. Like, who are you to come against my God? And he boldly steps up and defeats that Goliath. Nehemiah lives a comfy job in a palace until he hears tragic news at home that walls are falling down. He breaks down, he cries, he prays, he puts his life at risk, he asks the king for help. All of this because his heart was broken, and he steps towards that brokenness, not away from it. These men and many other people in our Bible and us today, we're all praying the same prayer. Break my heart, God. Shake yourself out of your continual pursuit of comfort. Stir in me, God, a divine burden that I can't simply ignore. I don't want to ignore this anymore. I want to actually do something that is worthy. And when you pray it, God, break my heart, and I dare you to pray it. When you pray it, get ready to ache. Get ready to have a plight for the unborn. Get ready to feel something for children who can't read. Get ready to be sick to your stomach at human trafficking, so much so that you want to do something about it. Be prepared to stand up for racial injustices that will happen just like they've happened recently. Get ready to recognize clean water is so important, and there's people in a world who don't have it. That there's people who are living under financial bondage and need help, and that you could help them. That there's children who don't have a home, a safe home to go home to. That there's people that you live next door to, that you work in the office with, that have mental illness that are going left untreated. That people are trapped in addictions. Get ready to hurt for marriages that have infidelity. Teens cutting themselves because they're depressed and they don't think they're worthy. That there are people in your life, in your family, who are addicted to porn, you don't even know it. That people are being drugged down by drugs and they can't break free of it. Get ready to see all of the hurting and pain in the world. Whenever you pray, God, break my heart. And when he does, because he will, thank God for a broken heart. You see, most people think it's easier just not to care. I'd rather not know what is wrong because then I can just get on with my life. It's better not to get involved. If it doesn't hurt me, then it doesn't hurt. But here's the reality. It's better to hurt with a purpose than to exist without one. What truly breaks your heart on behalf of God? What are you going to do about what breaks your heart? Despite how hard it is for me to say this, I'm thankful for that pain that you just shared. Because every day, I am driven to do something eternal by the pain that I experience in my life. I'm driven to do something that actually matters, not something for myself, not something out of comfort or pleasure. My heart is broken by something that breaks the heart of God. And so I dare you to pray. I dare you to hurt with a purpose. I dare you to strip yourself from your comfort and ask God to reveal something that breaks his heart to you. I dare you to pray, God, break my heart. We hope you enjoyed this message. If you want to find others like it, just click one of these boxes here and it'll take you straight there. You also want to make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button so anytime a new message comes up, you will be notified and you can go straight there. If you want to learn more about who Tethered is and what this hybrid approach of following Jesus is all about, you need to go check out our website. Just the link to that in the description below. We recognize that people live a slipstream between online and offline, and so we want to help you in your relationship with God to find and follow him and a community offline and online. That's why Tethered exists. We hope you enjoy this video and others like it. God bless. Have a great week.